guys, it's Kevin from Get a Life Podcast, and as usual, I'm joined by Bish.
Hey guys, it's me, Tyson. I'm only joking, it's me, Bish. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. And today we're both going to be discussing a series that is very dear to our hearts. Well, used to be dear, but we'll get into that in a second. We're talking about Call of Duty World War II, and the reason why we're digging this old treasure back up again is because, as you all know, with COD World War II obviously returning to boots on the ground, quote-unquote, action from Michael Condrey, a lot of fans like myself and Bish were like, you know what? Is it finally time to return to the series? Because I know that for the longest time, people have been pretty pissed off about this futuristic setting. I personally liked it, but a lot of people just really did not like the jetpacks and the wall running and the futuristic stuff. We'll get into that in a second, but okay. As Bish demonstrates here, not everyone enjoyed it that much. It wasn't everyone's cup of tea, right? So we're here to talk about World War II and just the hype surrounding it. And we want to see if, hey, is it time to get back into the series? Is it time to get the squad back together? So, for those of you who don't know about the series, i.e. people who have been living under rocks for the past 20 years, Call of Duty is an FPS, first-person shooter, and action series. This time developed by Sledgehammer Games, who also developed, I believe it was Advanced Warfare a few years back. And as always, it's published by Activision. This year, the COD is going to be releasing on the 3rd of November, and that's the worldwide release. So, Bish, could you give us the disclaimer?
All right. For you new folks, Get a Life Podcast is a monthly gaming discussion podcast under the Get a Life group. We talk about all sorts of games from the big AAA titles like Battlefield and Call of Duty, and I mentioned Battlefield for a reason, just because the memes, all the way to the awesome indie games, but our forte is Japanese games, so expect that a lot. This time, obviously, it's not a Japanese game. Call of Duty is a big American game. So we can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. Remember, if you want to join in on the fun, follow us on our Twitter page at Get a Life Podcast. In addition, be sure to check out our sponsors, Crunchyroll, for 14-day free anime HD, no ads. Go crunchyroll.com/kunai. You can also check out our other sponsor, lootcrate.com. So if you go to lootcrate.com/getalife and you use our code GETALIFE at checkout, you get 10% off your purchases. So go and check them out. Keep it kunai, keep it Crunchyroll. Loot Crate's awesome. Yee.
All right, thank you so much, Bish. And you know what? I'd like to start this conversation with a little overview of our experience with COD, because I think that, you know, we're kind of veterans at this point with the series. We've played a lot of it, a bit more than I would personally care to admit, right? And not all of our listeners are really familiar with our background in this series. So, first up, when did you get into COD, personally?
Personally, when I got into Call of Duty, I would say it's COD 4. Like, that was my COD game, but I've played every COD game from the first one up until...
so you went back?
I did. I went back,
Okay.
And I'll explain why I went back in due time. But I did play all of them except for Infinite Warfare, the newest one, and I'll give my reasons on that. But COD 4, back in my day, I think I was like 14 or 16 or something.
Hey.
I was like, hey guys! I didn't plug in my microphone, but I was definitely like, hey, fuck you guys, yeah, Morty. Yeah, that was me. Obviously, I didn't plug in my mic.
Did you get it on launch day, by the way, or did you
no,
get it on the
I
hype
didn't.
later?
I originally had a Nintendo Wii, and I was like, oh, fuck you guys with the Xbox players. And then I was like, okay, I got an Xbox, and all of the friends at school were talking about, oh, guys, have you played COD 4? Have you played COD 4? Wait, COD 4. And this was right before Modern Warfare 2 was coming out. So this was right before Modern Warfare 2. Everyone's still talking about COD 4, because everyone was replaying it at the time. And I got an Xbox.
Okay, so this is actually quite a while after launch then. So this is like
this
after
is
World
way
at War
after
launched,
launch. Yeah,
right?
this is after World at War, and
Okay.
this was right before Modern Warfare 2. So I got the game and I was playing it. I actually played the game way before. So I played it on launch. My cousin had an Xbox, so I played it on launch. I played through the campaign. I didn't play through the multiplayer because he was living in a country that didn't have access to Xbox Live.
Okay.
So I only played campaign. So that when I got the game, I only played through campaign as well. I didn't even remember that this was a game. Like I thought it was like, oh, this is one of these Arab games, you know. Like I actually thought it was like a knockoff game that he bought, but it was actually COD 4. So I played through it. I loved it. I just got so invested in the characters and such. And then I was like, okay, let's see what these other games are like. So I went back and I played the first 3. You know, I didn't play the spin-offs, but I played the first 3.
So no DS CODs?
No, I didn't play those. No. But I played the first 3, and they were quite interesting. They were different, obviously, because you had to heal using health packs and stuff. There wasn't proper healing, like there wasn't regenerative healing.
No screen jello. That,
no screen
jello.
All
the past these recent
they didn't
CODs
have
are really
them,
known for, right?
But it was interesting because those games, they were World War II, and I never played a World War II COD. My first one was Modern Warfare, and what I liked about it was, you know, kill streaks and stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't play the multiplayer.
Okay, so you really got into CODs through campaigns.
Campaign, right. Yes, and some co-op when Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I want to know how you got into COD. I'm guessing I have a hunch what it is.
What is that hunch?
Modern Warfare 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you know what?
You're one of those kids. I hate you.
I'm a basic bitch, and I got into COD after it was cool. But then again, right. Bish, so did you, because you got into it way after COD 4. I mean, come on. COD 4 is what everyone knows is COD 4 is when COD really, really got popular, right?
I'll be real with you. There's a cousin of mine, and we have these exams called GCSEs in England, right? And it was like high school exams. When he done his high school exams, he was playing COD 4, and this is when COD 4 was released. And he was like, Bish, don't play COD 4. I was like, why, man? He was like, I played COD 4 and I failed my exams. Because he didn't study, he just played COD 4 because it was around the release. So he warned me. He's like, don't. I know you got COD 4. I know you love COD 4. Don't play it. And it was like, I don't know. It's like a hobo giving you advice. Don't do these drugs, man. Is that case? Obviously, he's very successful now, but he's successful now, so that's great. I think, but obviously, I don't think it's thanks to COD or anything like that. But it's addictive. It's great.
It is.
Yeah,
I remember
especially
when because I actually got into the reason why I got into COD during MW2 is actually because that was the first time that my sister somehow managed to convince my parents to get us an Xbox, right? It was our first, the 360, by the way, was our first non-Nintendo console, right? Because before that we had like the GameCube, the Wii and stuff, right? But it was the first time that, you know, we joined the cool kids club because at that point the Wii was dying down, right? And people were making fun of it. So we managed to snag a 360, but not just any 360. We managed to snag the limited edition MW2 Xbox, which
which one was that? Was that the I'm getting confused between the Modern Warfare 3. Was that still the one where you had the hard drive that goes in the top?
It wasn't the slim. It was the OG 360, right? And it was the one with the super nice. It was black and had these really nice gray Task Force 141 markings. Anyways, that's the reason why I got into COD at the time. And holy shit, well, can you blame me for being obsessed with that game? Because it was the shit back in the day, right? It was a good game. Not the best game. I'll get into that in a second, but I played the crap out of that, right? And that's where I started with the series. After that, like you, I went back and played the older ones as well. I don't know if I played the campaigns and stuff to the same extent as you did. I did more of a run through to just, you know, complete the campaigns and just to 100% the past series. So I went through like COD 1, 2, 3, 4, World at War. And because I got into World at War and COD 4 at the point of MW2, actually no, I got into COD 4 and World at War was multiplayer during Black Ops. So at that point, it was Hackfest, and it was just, oh my god, I didn't have the same chance as you. I couldn't get into those old gold series when they were in their prime, right? Before they were hacked to crap.
See, I was waiting for, I believe World at War came right before Modern Warfare 2. Am I correct in saying that? So I got to play it right before, because I was waiting for Modern Warfare 2, right? So I got to play it right before. Bear in mind, for COD 4, I didn't really play multiplayer until afterwards. But
Oh,
I've never.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't play COD 4's multiplayer
At
until
all, okay.
advanced, until the remaster. I didn't.
What?
Yeah, I didn't, because when I went into lobbies, they were hacked to shit, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to play this.
Oh, okay.
But I was able to play before it was hacked. I went into a lobby recently, and it was like because I love playing Sabotage. It's like one of my favorite game modes. Before Demolition.
Wait,
and
Sabotage.
stuff like that.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one
Sabotage,
where it's like there's a bomb in the middle of the map and you have to like kill it? And...
it's basic bitch Demolition.
Yo,
it's like,
who the fuck plays Sabotage? No, I gotta trash talk you for that. Who the fuck plays Sabotage,
I
man?
like those game modes. I really do. Like Demolition is my favorite game mode. I used to play
played
Search.
Sabotage.
I used to play Search and Destroy, but Sabotage was great because you had more than one life. The problem with Search and Destroy was that as soon as you die, you die. Like there's no respawn for the rest of the round.
Okay, fair
which
enough.
I hated about it. So
I just never played Sabotage because like I would always look at the player count on the Sabotage playlist.
It was always the smallest.
Fucking empty. Yeah, it'd be like.
And the thing I think that's why they removed Sabotage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they removed it for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you did want to play Sabotage, right, the chances are, every single other member of your party, right, because you guys know how it is. You always play COD with a squad, right? None of my friends would ever want to play Sabotage. Like, fuck that. Let's go for domination or ground war.
You know what I used to hate when you do go finally into a lobby, your friends want to play free for all or team deathmatch. I'm like, fuck you, man. Team deathmatch is the worst game mode because it's not really team based. It's like, yeah, just get kills. That's it. There was no objective.
It's free for all on a team, basically. Yeah, I gotta agree. I think a lot of people will be pissed because TDM is like I don't know, in my mind, TDM is like the Scrub Lord MLG go-to game mode, right? Where everyone's like super sweaty and shit. I've always gravitated towards Demolition. That was my shit.
Yes, they removed it.
And then they fucking removed it and they put it back in Black Ops 3, which I couldn't fucking play because Black Ops 3 on PC was fucking, like, you could only play Demolition or TDM, and the few popular game modes there. Demolition was dead on PC, but yet, when I played COD on console...
From what I know, Ghost started the whole removal of Demolition. Like, they were like, hey, look, for PS4 players, we're going to give you Demolition. Xbox One players, you're going to get Demolition. For PS3 and Xbox 360 players, you're not going to get Demolition. And that fucking annoyed me. I was like, honestly, yeah, they removed it.
I would love to make a statement on that, but I don't remember because it's been so long. And also, COD Ghost is shit, so I kind of try to purge...
People are too harsh on Ghosts. I'll be real with you. People are too harsh on the game.
It's funny that you talk about harshness and stuff because that leads me into this question here. What is the best? What is your favorite? Not the best. What is your favorite entry in the series?
And I'll be honest with you. My favorite entry, Modern Warfare 2.
Really? Okay.
Modern Warfare 2.
Okay, but does that take into account? Is that just on the whole, like including your experiences on launch
why,
and now, or
on launch it was great, fantastic. Campaign was fucking amazing. Especially No Russian. I know No Russian is very like. There was a lot of articles behind it, and they're like, "Oh man, No Russian."
Mode,
at one point, the Prime Minister wanted to ban the game because of No Russian. Like it was on that point. So it was like very. I don't enjoy killing civilians, right? Especially in games or in real life, for that matter. But it was, I don't know. It was a talking point. It was something memorable. It's a marketing ploy, right?
It was one of the few, like, I think today it's the only mission that you can skip, and there's that iconic message right at the beginning of the mission. It's like, it may disturb some players, blah blah blah, and you can skip this without penalty for your achievements and stuff. Yeah,
that's true. But the thing is that there is something, I don't know, without playing No Russian, you don't fully appreciate the story. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you need to get it from that side.
It's one of the few times you get to meet Makarov. And I think that's the only time you actually meet Makarov in person until MW 3.
And what kind of fucks me over is that Makarov knew that you were a spy. And he kills you. So he lets you kill all of these civilians. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I know you did this all along. Bang. Like, that's why I enjoyed that. It was those moments, right? It was those... Oh shit, like getting stabbed in the back and Ghost, oh my god. dicks out for Ghosts, right?
But
Because
MW2, is it your favorite game on the whole, or is it
It
like
is, it is,
the
it is.
campaign, best campaign, or like
I would say best campaign. Obviously, best multiplayer
Okay.
goes to a different game, but I mean as a whole, because of its
on the
campaign,
whole
because
it's
of its
MW2? Okay.
MW2,
Yeah.
and it's probably because also it's co-op mode. I enjoyed it. I had really great fun from it. It wasn't
was fun, but it
survival,
wasn't-
but
If I remember correctly, a lot of people like they were fresh off the World at War train, right? And they're like, "Holy shit, Nazi zombies!"
zombies, yeah.
And they're expecting a similar mode from IDub. And honestly, Spec Ops is all right, but I don't think Spec Ops got any good. It was
No,
decent. It wasn't great until MW3.
The issue that I had with the Spec Ops was the fact that you were basically limited to 2 people. Zombies had 4 people, and it was like unlimited, right? This was just effectively you're doing campaign missions, reliving that, especially with there were some missions where there were COD 4 missions, and there were some that were Modern Warfare 2 missions within that. So it was interesting, and having your friend help you out within the attack helicopter and things. There was some really memorable missions within Spec Ops, and I don't know. I loved it mainly because of the achievements, and when you feel like so amazing when you fight off those 3 juggernauts in that one Spec Ops one, and especially with my friends. Like my friends were not really into survival or that kind of co-op gameplay. They were mainly multiplayer people. But when they wanted to wind down, that's what we really played. I'll be real with you.
Actually, you know what? You just remind me of something. I do say, like, in retrospect, Spec Ops wasn't great, but I remember now, I fucking played the shit out of it because my friend and I, like, my BFF, my fucking bro, way back when in elementary, we fucking loved the campaign, right? And, well, you couldn't play the campaign 2-player, right? But you could play Spec Ops 2-player. And unfortunately, his parents never let him play COD, right? So he had an Xbox, but his parents were too strict, or were pretty strict, and they never let him get MW2. So what we would do all the time is he'd come over to my place, and we'd play split-screen Spec Ops, right? And we'd just play those missions over and over and over, and pretend to be like Price or Soap. It was good times.
It was
So
badass.
It wasn't
I'm not gonna lie.
the greatest in terms of gameplay, but personally, it does bring out a few good memories.
It does, and that's why I would say it's one of my favorites in the series. I'm
So you
also
said MW2 is the
very.
best campaign, is that right?
I
Okay.
wanted to know what was your favorite game, and we're not.
My favorite.
Yeah, your favorite one.
You know what? I'll respond to you first, and why I don't think MW2 is my favorite. But so MW2, it's loved, right? Everyone fucking loves it because it was a lot of people I talk to talk about MW2 as, the prime of the COD series before it got too complex and before the whole sci-fi mess and stuff, right? So they look back upon it with lots of fond memories, and I can see why. The campaign is great, right? Like, I'm hard-pressed to find any COD campaign in recent years that has been as cinematic as the MW2 one, right? Because I still remember to this day the fucking last mission, right? When you're on the fucking the boats and shit, and you're fucking chasing down Shepard. So it's really high octane and stuff. And the multiplayer was good initially, but the reason why I can't say in good conscience that it's my favorite is because of the multiplayer now. Alright, if you go back onto MW2, alright, if you can find a match, it's basically turned into, fucking one-man army, noob tube, danger close, and
See,
Commando
that's
Pro
the thing. Like I
setups,
can't.
right? And it was completely broken, right? It was back in the day when developers didn't patch their games often, right? So they're game-breaking things like that. There was the ACR, remember the Akimbo 1887s, and the UMP having infinite range and shit. So like, it was good, but people eventually found out, the flaws and stuff, and they started using those flaws, and that was never fixed, which is why I can't say that, oh yeah, MW2 has the best MP, or,
No,
MW2
I
is
didn't
the best
say.
in the whole,
I didn't say it was the best MP.
Because
my
the
decision
multiplayer was fun, but it was flawed.
My decision on best thing is solely based on experience, campaign, because I never used to play Call of Duty for multiplayer. Like, I only started getting into multiplayer
Okay, fair
in
enough.
Black Ops. Like, Black Ops was my multiplayer game. So I really didn't like Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer because of the kill streaks. I hated kill streaks because I never used to get kill streaks. Right? Do you see what I mean? That's
The
why I
struggle
hated
of the
kill
noob.
streaks. I hated them. Obviously, because I was new to multiplayer, and I was thinking, fuck yeah, I'm really good at campaign. But that doesn't translate well into multiplayer. Let's be real. But yeah, I really want to know what your favorite game is as a whole, and then we can go in and talk about favorite campaign, etc.
Yeah, my favorite, I'm kind of torn, honestly. They're both Treyarch games, surprisingly, because back in the day, I was, honestly, I'll just call myself an iDub fanboy. Because, you know, I was all about, you know, the campaigns they had with Price and Soap. Not Ghost. Fuck Ghost. Ghost sucks.
No, go Ghost.
Hey, no.
Let's
Ghost
do
Wolverine.
this. UAV online.
And
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Ramirez and Corporal Dunn and stuff, right?
I don't want to be rude,
honestly,
but the American
my
troops
favorite-
really didn't get me. I
Yeah.
I didn't really feel anything to
What?
them because they were always the ones that died. Like it was like, okay, they were disposable. I don't want to be rude, and no offense to American troops, you know, you do a great job for your country, but I mean within this game, they were always kind of disposable. They didn't last another game, right? It was always
Okay, true. I can see.
it was
yeah.
always soap,
It was
or
always
it was always
just for MW2.
Yeah,
was it? Yeah. Okay.
it was always the British
Fair enough.
SAS characters because they were the main plot point, and the Americans were always that side mission. It always felt like that, at least to me.
But anyways, my favorite game is probably gonna have to be by a narrow margin. It's gonna have to be Black Ops 2 because my God,
Oh.
Treyarch, you are lords of multiplayer. All right, like Vonderhaar, if you're listening to this, like to this day, you're a fucking legend in my eyes because. Black Ops 1, I did not like the multiplayer that much because it was again, back in the day when they didn't patch their games too often, right? So everyone was running around with fucking, you know, suppressed FAMASes and Ghost Pro and shit, and that was so annoying. But with Black Ops 2, man, just with all the pick 10 system, I think the pick 10 system has a lot to do with why I fucking love.
Wasn't Pick 10 introduced in Black Ops 1? No.
Nope. Black Ops 1 still had the classic creative class.
Okay, so they had
Pick
the
10 and score streaks were two huge things that they brought into Black Ops multiplayer, and that fucking changed everything. Especially with, you know, they made some of the perks like quick draw and stuff, attachments, but they added stock. They turned Stalker, the perk, into an attachment and stuff, and I used the crap out of that perk, right? But just everything worked so well. You had this whole new level of customization and flexibility in what classes you can choose, right? People could go fucking, ballistic knife only with like fucking 6 different perks and stuff. You were in control, right? And score streaks, they promoted team play. Like
They did, yeah. That's what I loved.
Yeah, obviously
but
COD
let's
still was very oriented on kills, but it promoted team play, and it was just a better experience. And more importantly, they actually started patching weapons regularly with Black Ops 2, right? So whenever something got too powerful or something was too underpowered, they would make changes, right? Unlike the previous installments. So that was
I'll be honest with you, that's the whole patching thing that was towards the end of the Xbox 360's life cycle, so it was available to them. As developers,
of course, but
they can make
it's
those
still
patches
a fact
without requesting.
that Black Ops 2 was a lot more polished, in my opinion.
But
than
yeah,
the other series,
the thing
right?
is,
That's why
they
you
can
can go back into that. You can go back right now into Black Ops 2, and it'll still feel as good as it was on launch day, or better than launch day because of all the fixes.
Can find that. First of all, that's if you can find a match. Secondly, it's because they were given the opportunity to make updates by bypassing the Xbox Live update system or the PlayStation update system, because they have to request those updates, and it costs money
I know.
to
Yeah,
request
obviously.
them as well. So the fact that they were able to do it in game and avoid that system allowed them to do that. Imagine if Modern Warfare 2 had that potential. Or do you see what I mean?
It'd be lovely, but
I'm not here to
my
argue,
point is
but I'm just saying
that it
like,
doesn't. Right? Unfortunately, it doesn't. So I'm just
I understand.
talking
We
about
have to be
what
realistic
is.
here, but the one thing that I enjoyed about Black Ops 2 was
campaign.
that pick 10. No, I fucking hated campaign.
What? Yo,
it was
okay, no,
too,
we gotta
it was
talk about
too much.
that.
It was too much. It was like I didn't like the idea that you can go back in time and do this bull. Like, okay, Mason. Okay, that was cool.
But you never went back in time though. It was just flashback. Like I have to go on a rant here.
You know what I didn't like about it. No. I'll be honest with you. Why would you bring future weapons? Because you had the ability to bring future weapons.
But that was
That's cool, but it's fucked up. How is that possible? They can bring these holographic sights in the cold.
You could only really do that once you
complete the game.
At least once.
I like the idea that you had your creator class system, and you had you were able to.
Right? It was the first time that you could do that.
It was interesting, but I didn't like the idea. Like, you can change the ending. Do you see what I mean?
I didn't like that. Loved. That's exactly what I loved personally.
I didn't like that.
It's not a linear structure anymore. You could actually decide the
outcome
of the story,
wasn't.
right?
It wasn't that much. There's only 2 options. Only 2 endings, right?
Yeah, but it was enough to make me want to go back, like right after I beat it, and replay the levels, explore a bit, and change the ending, right? See what the other ending was like. And to me, that's a lot better than what I can say for like Black Ops 1, for example, right?
I'm being salty here because there wasn't enough. What's his name? The Russian guy. Fuck.
Oh, Reznov.
Reznov. There wasn't enough Gary Oldman Reznov. I want more Reznov. Like, Black Ops 1 was great because I love Reznov. Like, Reznov was my...
yeah, but then again, like, Reznov was technically dead the entire time. Spoiler alert for those
who haven't played a 10-year-old game. Whoa. No, that's true, but I mean, he was there. His acting was great. Gary Oldman is a legend, but I mean, Reznov as a character since World at War had such a connection to Reznov, right? And not knowing whether it's kind of like the whole Captain Price. He's the Captain Price of this game, effectively so. It was interesting, and then they kind of played it too much within Black Ops 2. Like, it was just like, oh, Reznov. It was like, okay, shut up about Reznov, all right? We know. Like, fuck off about Reznov. It was too much. Do you see what I mean? The whole Mason and Reznov thing. I like how Woods made a return. Like, when you went in that mission and you saw...
I thought it was bullshit. Yo, I fucking... Oh, man, I just hated the reveal trailer because they fucking revealed that he was alive in the reveal trailer,
I didn't see the...
I was like, that was such a bullshit, though, because remember back in the day, right? People were like, oh, yeah, Ghost isn't dead. And they started making up bullshit reasons for why Ghost is apparently still alive, despite being shot at point-blank range and then literally set on fucking fire.
Well, Ghost is alive.
Like, people were fucking making up theories of, Ghost was wearing fireproof clothes when that happened, or some shit like that.
Now we're not sure whether the real Ghost was killed.
Oh my god, Bish, not you two. Holy shit.
You know why? Because Ghost has a mask, and he sounds the same as Gaz. What if Gaz is Ghost?
You know what?
Also, Gaz died, so
Thank you for listening to this episode, guys. That's it. I can't handle Bish being a Ghost fanboy, so
I'm joking.
We'll see you next time.
I'm joking. Ghost was cool, but I mean, he's dead. He's definitely dead. Unless they do in Modern Warfare 4, he's like, oh, Ghost is alive. That's another thing, Kevin. That's what annoyed me about Call of Duty Ghosts. I thought it was a game about ghosts. Like, I assumed. You assume. When you hear the name, you're like, oh shit, man. The campaign's going to be about ghosts. That would have been badass.
They said that it was just an homage to Ghosts, even though Ghost, in my opinion, was a boring and a flat character who couldn't fucking protect your flanks during the campaign.
Whoa.
Dude, I don't know how many times I was playing the oil rig mission on Veteran, right? And this fucker couldn't protect my flank. Like, I would turn around for 2 seconds, right? Because I was like, okay, Ghost got my back. And I'd, try to take down some guys. And then, next thing I know, I get fucking insta-killed because Ghost just got completely wrecked by some AI. By one dude, right? I'm like, God damn, Ghost, you had one job.
You know what I liked about Ghost? It wasn't Ghost itself. I thought he was Kaz. Like, I thought underneath that mask...
you're one of those people.
I was one of those people because I had such a connection to Gaz. He was like, wait, now, knife that melon. Wait, what that? Gaz. Gaz is the kind of guy you go in the pub and he would be your wingman. He's the kind of guy, right? So I obviously I heard the same voice and I was like, why would they use the same voice actor? I was young, so I was like, why the fuck would they use the same voice actor unless he's Ghost? Do you see what I mean? And then I realized, they did it only because they wanted to reuse the UAV Online sounds and stuff from the first game. They just wanted to reuse those sounds. UAV Online. They just wanted to reuse those sounds. So that's probably why they brought him back on to record other voice lines. So that it just makes sense. But part of me still thinks My man Ghost.
All right.
Dicks out for Ghost.
I think we talked enough about multiplayer.
We did, yeah.
and,
We did.
Campaign.
Um,
I think it's time to move on now to the monster that zombies has become. I want to talk about zombies, and also a little bit about Extinction. Okay, hear me out. Extinction.
Okay.
I think it's important, especially for this new zombies mode that they're introducing into World War II. But let's talk a bit about zombies. What you started with World at War, I guess, right? Or did you start getting into zombies after?
I started playing zombies. I started playing zombies in World at War, and I didn't play it with friends, right? Because I didn't have friends that played zombies. So zombies was an afterthought. It actually was an afterthought. The developers did admit to that.
Yeah, it started out as an Easter egg thing, where this little.
A lot of people didn't buy the map packs, and I was the only kid that bought the map packs. So I used to play with randoms, and we had this team. There was one Canadian guy, one French guy, and there was one American, and I was the Brit in the situation. So we had this team, and we were going around, and the French guy doesn't speak English, and the Canadian guy speaks English and French, so he would be translating what we're saying, right? And we would play like Dries, and we'd get up to around 50, up to around 100. Like, we would go hard on this game. So we used to play zombies in that way, but it was never like an experience. Zombies was never an experience. It was just more of a chore, right? Because there was no story to zombies. At least towards the end, there was a slight story and whatever.
Yeah,
it's not like what it is now, right? Now zombies has become this another thing. Like, you can take all of the zombies maps and release them as a game. You could do that, and they do bundle that in Steam, right? You can buy all of the zombies maps in all of the games. It's just how it works. But zombies was never. It was more of an afterthought for me. It was never a thing that I loved until Black Ops 1, and then obviously I met my good friends Mark, who used to be on this podcast, and Aiden. Oh my god. Aiden, this guy, I promised him a shout out, and he was like, "Oh, George, how come you don't give me a shout out?" He's from Yorkshire, so he has a Yorkshire accent, and he's always saying, "Why don't you give me a shout out?" And I'm like, Aiden, I can't give you a shout out because it just doesn't make sense to give you a shout out on a random episode about an anime or about a game that you're not even going to enjoy. He is the zombies fucking legend. That's what he is. Not the zombie fucking legend. Like, he doesn't fuck zombies. But he's a fucking legend at zombies. Like, I don't know. Playing zombies with Mark and Aiden is the best experience. Like, you've played zombies with Mark before, like when we were playing custom maps. And it was interesting, but when you get Aiden involved, that's when it's banter. It's like I said, it's more like pub banter, right? Because he's this British guy, he's hilarious. And, you know, I usually go down in zombies a lot, especially when I started, and this guy would train you. He was like, hey, pick this, go with this, let's do this thing. Like,
so you had like a zombie senpai then.
He's my zombie senpai. Like, he was like, okay, let's train on here, or let's do this, and he got me into zombies. Like, we would used to play Kino a lot, and I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to play Kino.
No,
and then when the map, I hated Kino. You know why I hated Kino? Because it wasn't as good as Dries. Like, Dries was my map.
No, what the fuck? No,
Dries was my map.
You take that back, man.
Nostalgia, man.
Kino.
Dries was so simple to train in. Like, you can train the whole map in Dries. It was so simple.
But
using teleporters and stuff.
Have you never tried training for the entire map solo on Kino? It's so easy.
I don't find it fun. I'll say this here. I don't find Kino fun. It's not fun with friends. It's not fun. And that's just me. It's such a dark map. I understand Kino was supposed to be the last map pack for World at War, from what I know, but it just never got released. That's why it kind of follows the same sort of thing. They were supposed to have like the Moisen Nagant, and you know, like those kind of rifles in there. Those were the weapons that they were supposed to have in there, but obviously when Black Ops 1 came out, here you go, that was one of the first maps. 5 was actually supposed to be the first map that we got in Black Ops 1, believe it or not. 5 was supposed to be the first map, and 5 was the shittest map in all of zombies.
5 wasn't shit, it was just fucking stupidly hard. It was just...
It's shit.
Brutal. It was
I didn't
brutal.
I didn't like the whole DEFCON system and the...
for me, it's the goddamn Pentagon Thief, man. Holy shit. No, that
you know... The interesting thing about the Pentagon Thief, I believe if you kill him, you get this special bonfire. Not bonfire cell. You get this.
It's a bonfire cell. You get to pack a punch.
No, it's the only map. You know, it's the only map that has that. No other map has a discount on.
You sure about that?
On pack a punch. Yeah, it's the only map. Only
I
map
think
in
they
the
might
history.
have added some gumballs later in like Black Ops 3, but yeah, you're right. For Black Ops 1 and 2 at least, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about those the gumballs. I hate them, but yeah, 5 was an interesting one, and obviously there was it called Dead Ops Arcade? I'm not a fan of it, but you know, some people like it. What I enjoyed about Black Ops 1 Zombies was the DLC maps. You know, you got your Shangri-La. Shangri-La's difficult. I love Shangri-La.
Oh man, it was to this day I think it's one of the hardest maps that I've played.
It
in
is,
Zombies.
but it's a fun map. It's so colorful.
I could
and
never do
it's-
the Easter egg in that one. It was fucking impossible.
No, man, I love Shangri-La, and there was other maps as well. There was not only Shangri-La, there was
Call
Moon.
of the Dead.
Call of the Dead. Look, I'll be real with you. Aiden and Mark, we didn't really play Call of the Dead. I don't know why. It was like I didn't get it at the time because I was like, okay, I'm gonna skip out on this. I'm gonna skip out on Call of the Dead, but so we didn't really play it. But we would play Kino. Kino was the main map, and then Shang. We did the Easter egg for Shang. We did the Easter egg for. What was the other map before Call of the Dead? There was like 4
Ascension.
maps or something.
Ascension.
Ascension, yes. We played Ascension, played a lot of Ascension, done Easter
Legendary
egg
map
for
as
Ascension.
well.
That's a great map. And I don't like the remakes of Ascension because there's no PhD. And then we did Shang, and then what was after Shang? There was one after Shang, wasn't it?
Moon.
Was,
Moon.
okay, they went straight to Moon. Okay, Moon was great. You know what I liked about Moon? The hacking, like, you know, the ability to transfer points over. It was ahead of its time, and zero gravity, and you know, being able to hack the box.
People talk fondly about Moon now, but if I remember correctly, back in the day, people were really hyped about it. But like, I don't know, just a lot of people complain about the no gravity and shit, and just like, because you jumping around in like zero gravity in the moon and stuff, that would get you killed all the time by the crawlers and shit, right? And people just got pissed off at that. I remember
They did fix it in Black Ops 3, if I'm not mistaken. They did fix that element with it, so that's probably why people are speaking
Black Ops
so
1,
nice about
it was
it.
super annoying, and it was fun, but man, it was hard to do solo, and I played lots of solo
That's the
zombies.
thing. I was never a solo zombies player. It was never fun. It's always fun playing with a friend, especially with Aiden and Mark, because we were Easter egg hunters. Like, we would go NGT zombies. We would go and watch like all the zombies YouTubers, and like, oh yeah, look, not Allier, Mr. Waffle Waffles had a video about this Easter egg. Let's go and watch it, and let's go and find the Easter egg ourselves. And we used to do that. And even when Black Ops 2 came out, we would do that. We were the main. We don't want to be douchebags and like, yeah, we were the main fucking team. We were a team of 3. We weren't really able to do most of the Easter eggs, right? We had to get another friend of a friend, to help us with the Easter eggs. And it's not that fun. But you know, when we were playing not for Easter eggs, it was incredibly fun. And especially Moon, Moon is one of my favorites from Black Ops 1. Right? Not including the remakes of Derice and Verrucht and stuff. Verrucht is also a really good map.
Would you say Black Ops 1 has the best zombies experience? Like, because we haven't talked about Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, right?
I want to talk about Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 before, because Black Ops 2 had some really shitty maps, but then they redeemed
Oh my god,
themselves.
Transit was fucking Although I gotta say, Die Rise does not deserve the hate it gets. It was actually a pretty fucking legit map in my opinion. The elevators were annoying, but I guess just in comparison to Transit, you know, it was a nice return to some basics.
It was a nice return,
and
but
the
at the
fire
same,
was awesome.
you know what I didn't like about it was, it's a vertical map, right? Do you see what I mean? It works with that element. Like, it's not a horizontal map. It was designed, obviously, is because it's called Die Rise. It's play on the words of High Rise. I didn't like it. I don't want to say I preferred Transit over it, but I did.
What?
Transit.
What is wrong with you? No, you can't.
Transit.
You can't
Look. You know what Transit was good with? If Transit was the reason Transit sucked was because of the
denizens
limitations.
Well,
denizens.
There are a lot of reasons. There's
a lot of reasons. You know why? Because it's the fact that Transit was not made. It was made to push the limits of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. But if they created it for the PlayStation 4, and this is where I'm serious here, they could have done so much better, because the map is actually one of the largest zombies maps.
It is the largest, and I think it remains the largest.
It is, right? But
Not in terms of playable area, but like in total, if you include the fog and shit, yeah.
If you include the fog, but even in terms of playable area, right? Because you can actually go through, and the whole denizens jumping on your head was a limitation. Like they only added that in so you don't render the rest of the map,
really
because if
annoying,
you would,
honestly.
you would fuck up your consoles. Like your console can't run that. That's why there was a lot of fog, and there was a lot of zombies YouTubers at the time that said, you know what, if you remove the fog, this would have been the best map, and I agree with them. And they can do that. I believe they can do that. If they were to make Transit 3.0, Transit 2.0, where they remove the fog, it would have been the best fucking map ever. And they also introduced like special game modes. Like they had Turnt, which was like this one-off game mode where you would play as a zombie, which is shit, but it was, it's an alright, it's a new thing. And they had 4v4 zombies.
Grief was
yes,
legendary.
I loved it, and it didn't return. If I'm not mistaken, it didn't return for any other maps because obviously no maps were big enough. With Grief, what I liked about it was we would come in and we wouldn't even go with the objective of Grief, right? We wouldn't be griefing the other players. We just want to see how long we can all last together. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense. I was like, imagine an 8-player cooperative gameplay of zombies. That would be fucking crazy. And they could do it with the PS4, and and there are mods that allow you to do it on PC. So that was very amazing for me. But one of my favorite maps, Nuketown Zombies. I'm not sure if you've played that map. Yeah. You get it as a pre-order bonus.
Zombies was so shit though. People were complaining about it all the time because like perks would rain down at different times, right?
Yeah, that would make it interesting. It's
you
kind of like Moon.
Like Jug. You could have Jug like spawn in at like round 25, not even.
Yeah,
right?
You could.
So that would fuck you over if you're trying to play together as a group or solo. So that was so annoying.
For me, it was different because I never used to use perks. Believe it or not. When I used to play World at War, I didn't like using perks. I never used perks. And we would go to high rounds without perks. It was that crazy, right? So I was never really a perk person until Aiden and Mark was like, dude, you need Jug. That's why you're going down. You need Jug. So it's I don't know. For me, the whole not needing Jug is a challenge, right? Not getting Jug. It's the same with Moon. Like, with Moon, I believe if not quick draw, sleight of hand spawns in, you're fucked. Because you can't get Jug. It doesn't spawn back in. Do you see what I mean? I think they've changed it for the remaster, but it was kind of fucked. It was like, dude, I don't need sleight of hand. You need to do the Easter egg to get Jug. Do you see what I mean? It was that kind of challenge there. Stuff like that. It was incredible. It was just great. That's why I like Nuketown Zombies. It was great. You can kind of
but
it was
honestly,
easy, small map.
In my opinion, if they just let all the perks spawn in like from the get-go, it would have been an awesome map because like the training areas and stuff were awesome.
It would have
right?
been.
And
it was.
Everyone loves
yeah.
the multiplayer Nuketown map, right? So it's just that stupid caveat. I don't even know why they added that in there, right? It's just to piss off players, right?
Maybe.
It is what it is.
There was also one of the most legendary maps, and I think the best map of Black Ops 2.
Black Ops are in zombies. Actually, no.
Black Ops 2 zombies.
What's the best zombies map?
Best zombies map? Ooh. I don't like the Black Ops 3 maps. Be real with you. One of my favorite zombie maps. Not Call of the Dead. What was it? What was the other one? Mob. Yes.
Mob
Fuck
Dead.
Yes.
I don't know. It's fun, but it's overrated in my opinion because
you think so?
For those of you who don't know, Mob of the Dead was when Jim Leslinsky basically, I don't know if he got fired at the time, but that's when he stopped being the director of zombies. Because for World at War, for Black Ops 1, up until Die Rise, it was his team, the Zombies team, that was working on the Zombies maps. But starting with Mob of the Dead, it was Jason Blundell, if I'm not mistaken, and his campaign team that started working on the Zombies map and started creating them. And the reason why I kind of have a bit of beef with Mob of the Dead, in spite of the fact of how great it is, right? Because it is a great experience. What I don't really like is that it started a trend with the Zombies maps. And it's that before, like, Zombies maps were more or less simple, right? It was you get out of spawn, you go to power, right? And you just get your perks and you get set up and everything's everything's good. But starting with Mob of the Dead, you have to fucking use go into ghost form and fucking zap all of the things individually and stuff, and it would take forever to turn on power to all the sections of the map and stuff, and it just got really, really slow, right? And in my opinion, the first few rounds, the first 20 rounds of zombies, that's when shit's intense, right? You want to get going right away as fast as possible. But after that, with Origins and stuff, and they're all great maps, but they just take so long to get set up on. Right?
You know why? I think it's because the focus. I forgot who's the director of Zombies now. I believe he's the director of Treyarch as a whole now.
No, it's still Blundell.
Yeah. Jason Blundell, like he's in charge of Call of Duty on Treyarch's side, from what I know now, as a whole, not just Zombies. He's in charge.
There's.
No, he is. He's
sure.
in charge. He's in charge of it now. Like they've given it to him completely for the whole game. It's interesting because with Jason Blundell, like he introduced a lot of things, and I think it was more story focused and more Easter egg focused, specifically with Jason. And he's managed to link in all of the stories together, which I think is commendable for him. That's why I really like Jason Blundell.
Oh yeah, I mean the story's great, right? He did wonders for the story, right? Because before it was kind of like a few Easter eggs in here and there, right? But I think that it's gotten to the point where the story kind of encroaches into the gameplay. Right, because like everything is linked to the Easter egg now, right? It's not like the good old days of zombies, and I hate to say good old days, but for me, I really liked the zombies where it's nice and simple, and it's like, if you want to do the Easter egg, go ahead. We're not forcing you to do the Easter egg, right? You're not really losing anything.
I agree with you, and I think it's also the fact that there's a fear factor that's lost. Do you see what I mean? Like, yeah. It seems
that definitely started before Blundell, though.
You really think so? Because I think as soon as he kind of came in, it was like, dude, just don't continue. Like, potentially, no, you might be right, because, Shangri-La and things like that, they're not really, they're not really scary. But, I mean, the original Zombies maps were incredibly scary. Specifically the first one, and then Verrückt as well, because you're split into 2 different zones of the map, and you can't meet each other, and you have to turn on the power, and it was just so incredible. Like, there was an amount of teamwork that you had to go through. It was like, I would get shit scared playing Zombies. I used to. Now it's just like, hey, Zombies, where? And that brings me on to a point. We talk about the best Zombies maps, but there was also an Infinity Ward attempt at Zombies after they did Extinction, which I found was the shittiest shit in all of shit. What do you think? So I was saying that Infinity Ward did an attempt on Zombies. What do you think of it? Because it seemed very campy. It was like, hey, look at our disco zombies.
I don't know whether I would blame it on Infinity Ward exclusively. I would say that the problem is more so with Sledgehammer, or if you want to go further, Activision.
Oh, Exo Zombies. I completely forgot about Exo Zombies.
Yeah, Exo Zombies. You should forget about Exo Zombies because it was just fucking trash, honestly. Infinity Ward zombies and Exo Zombies, I think, they're playable, right? They can be fun, but they just don't. They can't compete. They do not have the longevity rather, of Treyarch zombies, right? Because you can't really go back now to Exo Zombies and expect to find lots of matches.
You know what I didn't like about Exo Zombies was the fact that it was behind a paywall. You had to buy the DLC to get zombies. Like, at least give us one map for free, mate.
That's the thing, but like just even in terms of gameplay, what I really didn't like, and it actually leads perfectly into Extinction, what I really didn't like about Exo Zombies and about the new zombies in Infinite Warfare, whatever the fuck that's called, what I really don't like about it is that, okay, yeah, it can be fun, but the bigger issue, in my opinion, is they didn't even try, alright, to really innovate that much. They copy and pasted Treyarch's formula, right, with the wall weapons, the barricades, and just like pack a punching. They basically copy pasted like 99% of what Treyarch had done, added a few very small things, but at the end of the day, it's not like they managed to create something that was better. No, at the end of the day, they created a mediocre imitation. That's all Exo Zombies and Infinite Warfare Zombies amounted to. It's a poor man's Treyarch Zombies.
You know what
right?
annoys me is the fact that there are World at War maps, the custom Zombies maps, that are better than Exo Zombies and Infinite Warfare
absolutely.
Zombies.
Right? Like, you know what? Say what the fuck you want about Extinction, okay? I personally love Extinction. Say what
I liked it
you
as
want
well.
about Extinction.
I liked it as well.
But
What I liked about it was that
you have to
it was
commend
different.
them for trying to create a unique experience, because there's nothing like Extinction in the Call of Duty series. It was the first time that sort of mode was implemented. Yeah, it's a survival mode, but the way it was played with the different classes and stuff, right? That was fun. That was new.
You know what I think that they should have done instead of Infinite Warfare Zombies? They should have
done Extinction 2.
Extinction 2, yeah, I agree.
Extinction
Especially
was
with the whole
fucking
space idea, because the game is themed around space. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
that makes the most sense for an Extinction sequel. And instead they're like, oh, zombies in Spaceland. Yeah, that's the best. Let's go back to the 80s with exosuits.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's my problem. It's that there's absolutely zero creativity going into
There is,
those
yeah.
projects, right? It's just
There
a
is.
poor man's imitation, right? And that's what I want to see change in World War II. It's still going to be zombies, right? So they're not scrapping that. Activision clearly knows that people want zombies, regardless of whether or not it's from Treyarch, right? But I'm just hoping that it's going to be a unique experience. Which finally brings us to World War II. I know that we've been talking about the series for a while now, but I think it was pretty necessary before we jump into World War II, right? Can't really talk about World War II and why people are hyped about it without talking about the past of the series first. Alright, but if you guys want to tell us about your thoughts on the new Call of Duty series, or whether you're still playing it, why you left, or what you think about this new entry, whether you think it has a shot of winning you back, getting back into multiplayer, zombies, campaign, whatnot, send us an email or message us on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is @Tolvray, that's @TOLVRAIE, and Bish?
And my Twitter page, I've changed it. It's @BishLovesMish. You can spell that. I'll put it also in the description as well. Or you can just tweet us at Get a Life Podcast as usual. I really want to hear Tyson's opinions on this. So Tyson, I'm calling you out. I don't know if you're going to be listening to this episode, but I'm calling you out. Please communicate with us on Twitter so we can have this kind of beef about this new game. I know you're not into COD anymore, but there's always opportunity. There's always a chance. One thing I want to say, I really want to thank the sponsors of this episode. That's Crunchyroll. So remember, you can go on your 14-day free trial, ad-free anime in HD if you go to crunchyroll.com/kunai. And our second sponsor, Loot Crate. So lootcrate.com/getalife. Use the code GetAlife for 10% off your purchases. Big thanks to them. And our next episode of GALP, usually we kind of announce the next episode. I believe our next episode is our Persona 5 episode. Kevin, you're not going to be in that. I'm very sorry.
Unfortunately not, but
Unfortunately
rest
not,
assured, Bish, Jacob, and Joe will give you guys plenty to talk about.
We're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about older Persona games, what we think about the old ones, very similar to this episode, as well as the main Persona 5 game. My apologies that we've done that a bit late. It's only because I wanted an episode that I think Jacob could shine in, and that is going to be his episode to get hype.
That being said, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.